Have you ever been so tired and exhausted that you felt empty? Empty as a person, empty of energy, and really apathetic towards life. What do you do when you reach this point? I'm sharing 3 steps I have taken multiple times to help me when I get to this low level.
Hey, friend, do the daily demands of family life leave little time for self care? Are you losing yourself in the process of caring for others? Are you ready to make self care and healthy boundaries a natural part of your day while embracing your roles as a wife and mom? Well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Christina, married 17 years to a neurodiverse man, mom of 3 neurodiverse kids, and many more roles. Welcome to the Moms and Neurodiverse Families podcast. Get ready to begin your self-care journey. Grab your planner and listen in as we take another small step towards a peaceful, healthier you.
Have you ever been so exhausted that you felt like you were running on empty? If there was a little meter to show how much fuel you had in the tank, it would be way, way negative. Yet somehow you're still going. And maybe you're a little scared about that. Because if you look forward in the future and continue this, it's not going to be a pretty picture. We're going to talk about some solutions regarding being on empty. And before I dive in, I want to remind you of my email list. I have 5-minute self-care reset guide that you can sign up for, and I have used all the different items that are listed on there in various times of my life to help me reset my life when you're just down that bad track, when your thoughts are racing and you're just so frustrated. Those are some of my really quick go-to items, especially if I haven't developed long-term self-care rituals in my life to kind of sustain me. But let's dive back into when you're an empty. I have had several times in my life where what I wanted to be as a mom, engaged, involved, training, doing therapies at home, that ability and capacity began decreasing and decreasing. And pretty soon, I was short tempered. I was not patient. I was distracted. And why is this important? If you, as I mentioned earlier, if you take that trajectory and if you continue in that direction and move it forward, the person who I would be is not someone I would like. And I'm sure that's the same scenario for you. Sometimes you can look at where life is at and say, I don't like this right now. I don't like being this empty and exhausted. And this is some truth/tough love. The only person who is responsible for making sure I take care of myself is me. The only person who is responsible for making sure that that need is met is yourself. And yes, we can at moments say, but if my husband would only help me, or if only my kids would fill in the blanks. I know. Sometimes it is heavy what the load we carry. But as I remind you guys often, every single day you make hard choices and you stick to things with your kids and with your spouse. You do those hard choices all the time and you follow through. Now we're applying it to your own personal life. And I encourage you to do this, to take those hard moments. So first step we're looking at is when you're this empty, my suggestion is let's focus on your physical needs and then connect them to your emotional needs. What I see with women, whether they have young kids or older kids at home, they often are either skipping meals or they're eating off of their children's plates. Also, they could be eating through random times of the day, but what they're eating is almost like a binge eating a whole bunch of cookies, or they're eating a certain type of food and they're eating it really quickly, and then they're not eating the rest of the day. Those are unhealthy habits for us because one, we're not getting a healthy meal of sustenance. Two, we're not eating that in a restful state. We're rushing. And 3, sometimes we're eating things that really aren't good. I mean, I will admit, I have eaten 6 cookies in one sitting one time. Homemade fresh chocolate chip cookies. I'm sorry if this is causing you wanting to eat that, but I've been there. And afterwards I look and think, what am I doing? This is not helping me at all. I don't need that much sugar. So we're going to focus on your physical needs right now. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to tie that into your emotional and your mental needs. So, first, we're going to create 3 days of easy meals. And you might be thinking, Christina, what does that matter? I mean, that makes no sense. Okay, just stick with me, okay? The goal is that for you to have easy meals for yourself and for your family for 3 days so you can make some pockets of time for yourself. Step one, going to the grocery store, probably want to make a list up ahead of time. You're going to be grabbing paper plates. We can eat off of paper plates. I remember there was a season where that's all we did because I could barely keep up. And if you're an empty, this is like emergency, sweetie, right? We have to go and pull stops and make things as easy as possible for a time period so our mind can regroup. So, grabbing paper plates, if you need to, paper cups, even the silverware, whatever we need to do to make it easier for you. And you're going to be looking for food for yourself first. So, for breakfast, maybe it's breakfast sandwiches that are frozen. Maybe you're grabbing oatmeal packets and then you're getting some protein bars. I mean, there's lots of different options. You just need to spend a little bit of time of what that would be. And then for lunch, maybe you're grabbing 3 pre-made salads or you're buying lettuce with a bunch of salad fixings and you'll just make it all up at home at once and put them in the fridge. And then grab 3 frozen dinners for yourself. I know, not glamorous. However, this will work for a short time period. Next, number 2, you are going to find simple, preparable meals for your family. Now, maybe your spouse is able to make up these meals. Maybe you have a child who's older who can make up some of these meals if it's simple enough. Or if that's not an option, you're doing it yourself. But you're looking for very easy meals. Maybe it's frozen pancakes. It could be waffles. It could be, again, frozen breakfast sandwiches or oatmeal, something simple for breakfast that you know your kids would eat. Even cereal. I'm not a fan of cereal, but like in this situation, I would pull out the cereal boxes and have milk and extra cheese sticks for protein. Then same thing for lunch and supper. You're looking for easy meals. Maybe it's pre-made sandwiches. It could be chicken nuggets and fries. And then the next night you have fish sticks and noodles. It could be also those single mac and cheese containers. Again, this is not how normally I would eat, but there are some times in life where I have to say, I need to stop as long as it doesn't have any artificial colors and flavors. That's my like very super basic level. The food has to have no artificial colors and flavors. And we'll get that for the family. So figure out what would be those kind of go-to meals for you. And then 3, you're going to decide when is it best for you to eat, because the goal is that you're going to eat by yourself for 3 days. So either you can make your family's meal first and then do your own, or maybe you eat first and then do their meal. But the goal is that let's say you're feeding your family first, which happens often for me. You would get the meal prepped, you would put all the food on the table, and if you need to stay out in the kitchen, you stay out in the kitchen until they're done eating. And since you have paper cups and paper plates, they're just throwing it all in the garbage. When they're almost done eating, you're going to prepare your food and then you are going to go into a different room. If you have to find a corner in a bathroom, we're in a closet, someplace by yourself. If you can't use your bedroom, put on the TV for the kids for 30 minutes and you're going to go by yourself. Again, obviously you're choosing TV programs that are appropriate for your kids, but by yourself in a room and have a meal, a warm meal, alone. And when you're doing this, before you eat, this is important. Before you eat, you're going to spend 1 minute with your eyes closed and breathing in and breathing out slowly for 1 minute. And your focus that entire time is only on your breath, just breathing in and breathing out. You are engaging your brain to slow down. You're helping your brain to shift from response reactive mode into I'm ready to eat and digest. And it's amazing how your brain can just recalibrate by doing this. Every time a worrisome thought comes up, you're going to just like, nope, pop it out, and you're going to like, nope, or let it go by your mind. Either way, just somehow let it flow and keep focusing on breathing in and breathing out for 1 minute. Then, not rushed, you're going to be sitting down and you are going to eat your food, not scrolling on social media, not researching some type of therapy or reading the news. No technology. You're just going to sit. Maybe you want to listen to some music, but you're going to sit and you're just going to eat your food and just focus on what you're eating, how it tastes. Then gratitude. Spend some time just being thankful for the food, thankful for a quiet moment. And yes, sometimes you get interrupted in these moments and it is frustrating. But the goal is, because we have 3 days we're doing this, that there will be more days where you're not interrupted. That is the goal, to have most of the days to be a peaceful meal for yourself. So as you are eating, you're taking the time, you're allowing your body to digest, you're not rushed, you're not having all of the mom type of requests coming in. You're just enjoying your food and being grateful. That can help so much. This seems so simple, but imagine this right now. What if you'd had 3 days where you had breakfast, lunch, and supper you took by yourself? Yes, maybe you still sat down with the family. If that's a big thing, you still sat at the table with the family, you drank some water, we had a beverage. But after they had thrown their paper plates in the garbage and you went off by yourself, what it would be like if you just had that time to yourself? How would your mind and heart be doing after having 3 days of this? This can help you to get from being absolutely empty to, okay, I'm starting to think clearly. I'm starting to see changes I need to make, because when we're in empty, we can't even assess which way is north, south, or east, or west. We need to give a little bit of margin in your life so that you can begin making choices and decisions on how to move forward. So again, the only person who can do this is you. I know that can be hard when you feel like you are the only person doing so many actions in the family. But this is important. Again, if we take your current trajectory and we move it a year to 5 years in advance, what is life going to be like for you? So let's just do this little 3-day meal, easy meals. Give yourself this time and see what happens. And maybe you're like, Christina, I don't know how I can do breakfast. I'm already waking up early as it is and it's not possible. Then you're doing lunch and supper. The point of it is that you're making life, just this one area, you're making easier for a short time so that you can physically feed your body in a relaxing state, and your mind can relax, and you can engage, and your gratitude is engaging with God. If you're not a person of faith and you're having just thankfulness for what you've been given, all of that can have a humongous impact on you. And if you do this, I would love to hear from you. Myself, I have done this before multiple times where I'm like, okay, I need some easy days. I need an easy button, but I'm the only one that can make it happen. And I highly suggest you keep this. The meals that you create, your ideas that you have, you keep it, and you can go and utilize it when you need to. One caveat, if you have family nearby, or if you have someone who like loves to cook, I would lean into that and say like, hey, listen, could you make supper for the next 3 days? Like, could you just drop something off and you can give the parameters if you have certain, like, that is wonderful. I know of people who really enjoy doing things like that. So don't discount those people. Like, that can be just amazing ministry. So again, quick recap. 1, you're going to the grocery store and you're having 3 easy meal days for yourself and for your family. Don't forget the paper plates, silverware and cups, all that. 2, you're feeding the meals to your family either before or after you eat. Again, sometimes before it can be easier because you know you have that stress done, and then you can relax for yourself. And 3, you're going to be taking time for yourself in a secluded area, no technology, so you can eat. First, you're going to deep breathe. Then you're going to take your time eating, and you're going to enjoy it, focus on your gratitude, and watch how your mind and your body begin shifting from empty to, wow, I'm feeling a little bit better. I hope this gives you some encouragement, and I would love to hear if you decide to implement any of these ideas.
Hey, thank you for joining me today. I pray this episode gave you encouragement to take one small step. If so, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help other women find this show. By the way, if you're loving this conversation and want more encouragement like this, join my email list at bit.ly/myselfcare. That is bit.ly/myselfcare. I have a planner launching soon that will help you put all this into action in your own life. I look forward to chatting with you again next week for another episode.